Hello and welcome back to my channel, my TV channel. My name is Ideal Formadu and this is Hangout on Screen. And the Hangout on Screen is that laid back on the couch kind of show where we talk about all things Jesus, and I generally get to share my life with you. And the whole essence of sharing my life with you is to inspire you and show you how I do what I do, and just inspire you and inspire you to be all that you can be. Not because I am all that I can be yet, but because I'm one woman that has refused to live short change, and I'm leveraging on the grace of God to be everything that God has called me to be at every point in time. And it's a journey that I am adversely on. That's the right word, right? Meanwhile, just before I forget, Hangouts on Screen is unscripted, so I'm going to talk with you like I'm sitting across you and gisting with you. It's not that professional. All those professional shows we watch on TV, it's unscripted, so we're just yarning, like we're talking, we're gisting. You get? So if you've been watching the previous episodes, I've been sharing about different areas of my life. So this week on Hangouts on Screen, I'm talking about my family. I want to talk about how I create a strategic plan. So basically, I divide my family relations into about loosely two large parts. I divide it, or three large parts. I divide it into inner, middle, and external. Inner, middle, and external. So under inner, for my inner, I just have my husband, my children, and our home as a whole. That's my inner. Under the middle, I have my parents. Of course, I know that my parents should be part of my inner, but for what's the word now? When the Bible says a man shall leave his husband and cleave to his wife, though people say that it's always good to have girls because the girls always remember their mom. My mom is someone, my mom is closest to me, but because of the details that typically go on with the planning, I put her in the middle. But when it comes to the middle, there's some sort of unspoken hierarchy, so she's the first. Understand? So her, my siblings, then I have my aunties and my uncles and the rest. Then I have external. Under external, so the people in the middle are family members that are not part of my core immediate family. So inner is my core immediate family. Middle is my family members that are not my husband or children. While external is my friends, my neighbors, my colleagues. They are friendly with me, but no blood ties. Do you understand? So, does it affect the way I have my relationship with them? In a way, yes. In a way, no. But I'm going to explain. Now, for family, I'm going to start with the inner. I believe that there are about 4 or 5 ways to minister to your spouse and children: physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and vision-wise. And that is what I do. So for my husband, my physical ministration to him is to ensure that I take care of him. Sorry, my eyes are darting. To make sure I take care of him physically. So I pay attention to what he eats. I'm not very regulated or regimented about it, but I'm not a monitoring spirit. I don't monitor what he eats, but to the best of me preparing, like when he goes to work, I can't stop him from buying something on the way to it, but the meals I make at home, I make sure that they are healthy, and that's something I do for my children. So because of time's sake, I'm just going to put it together. So spiritually caring for and physically caring for my family entails me cooking healthy meals for them, and entails me making sure that they have balanced diet, entails me making sure that they look good. My husband is a chief priest of looking good. I'm sorry I use that word, but you cannot catch my husband not looking good. In fact, he's my coach in looking good. So I don't take care of that part for him at all. In fact, when we're going out, most times he's the one that chooses our clothes. I leave that for him. But what do I do with the kids? Sometimes I notice, okay, this clothes is going old, we need to get a new set of house clothes for the kids, or these kids, I have a plan for their haircuts. Okay, we cut our hair on this so date. So when that date is approaching, we are planning towards it, and when it comes to the food for the kids, I plan out. They're very, very picky eaters, but in the evening, I try to make sure that you eat and eat well, and also we also have a timetable. we're going to have trackers for the timetable. I'll also let you know in comments if it's available or when it will be available, on how you can plan an easy way to plan your meals. I'm all for easy things. I don't like anything that's complicated. So that's how I physically care to them. Spiritually, which should actually have been first, I pray for them and I pray with them, and I point my children to God. I create schedules for them to read their Bible. I create schedules for them to watch Christian related things or join Christian camps. I look out for Christian camps, Christian programs they can be part of, and things that they can do, and we do family prayer together as a family altar. I also pray with my husband, and pray for him. So that's how I connect with him spiritually. The other way is emotionally. With my husband, I have date nights. Recently we've not been very intentional about it, to have date nights just for ourselves, because we have more of family nights, Friday nights, but sometimes we still have time to ourselves when we talk, and if I need to discuss anything with him, I'm sure that I have his attention. So work towards date nights and time out with my husband. Then with the kids, I work towards bonding time with them. Now, because we're very busy people, even though we're very busy people, our children, paying attention to our children cannot be overemphasized. Now, we may not be able to give them 1 hour full attention during the week, but we can have bonding times. I could have short bonding times during the day. For example, daily 5-10 minutes bonding time, where you just play with them, ask them questions, roll on the floor and all that. But once a week at least, have a longer bonding time. And for us, one of those bonding times is watching movies and taking long walks. So we take long walks, we talk, we discuss about what's happening in school, what's happening in the world. They ask us questions and the rest, and then we do movies. Another time is when we are eating too, and all that. So that's how we emotionally connect. Mentally, caring for my children means that I make sure that they have a timetable for reading. I get them school teachers to supplement what they learn in school. I make a schedule at least every month to talk to their teacher. We don't end up PTA, like what is happening, how is the child doing. I ask them questions. I ensure the assignment is done. My husband, connecting mentally with him, he has his own plan mentally, so I really do not need to do anything. I typically don't recommend books to him or anything to read, and all that. But what I try to do for him is more in the vision career path. So there's one that is more like a vision. It's broad. For my husband, what it means for my husband is different from what it means for my kids. For what it means for my husband has to do with his career and his plans towards the things he wants to do. So I try to keep him accountable. I pray with him on it. I ask him, okay, what would you want me to pray with you on? I agree with him. We think through things together. That's how I connect with him, based on his vision, based on what he's working on, based on his career. Then with my children, at every point in time, I'm learning what their interests are, and I'm exposing them to more of it. Like there was a time when my son was so particular about setting some things like robots and the rest. So like, okay, watch this, watch that. Or when this one piques interest in this, just shoot, but just make sure that whatever you're shooting at is really healthy and good, and informative, for children. So I talk with them about life, talk with them about vision, talk with them about to the way that they can understand, and also connect them to resources. Like I know that I signed up with one lady who we help the kids read one book every day. She broke it down to chunks that they could take in easily. Very, very great books, all these big books, I don't know, she just broke them down and it really helped. So that, of course, that could also be a mental connection, but the reason why I put on that vision is like you're positioning the child, like building skills. Like I got some coding classes for my son at some point. It could also be things like skills acquisition. Maybe like for example, my children learn a skill every year. This year, what we did was just leave him with gymnastics in school, something like that. But next year, we're putting on something. We're starting swimming for him. In 2019, he did piano, and then he was supposed to perfect it in 2020. Then COVID hit. So that's about it. And so that's how I connect with them, primarily. I could do other things, but when I tell myself, what does it mean to be physically connected to my husband, I write it out for me and I plug it into a plan. What does it mean to be spiritually connected? What does it mean to be mentally just that way? That's what I do. Now, the next thing I look at is my home, and in a very funny way, I do the same thing. How do I get spiritually connected to my home? For example, I pray. Every Saturday midnight into Sunday, I pray and I commit my home afresh into God's hand. And I'll anything that has gone on, maybe somebody was not happy, maybe my husband annoyed me, or of course we always ask for forgiveness and we move on, but I just tell God. Sometimes I'm laughing when I'm just telling the Holy Spirit, but basically I just tell God anything that might have happened that was not right, sorry, I'm rededicating this home to you, let this home be your tabernacle, let the fire keep burning and the rest. I do that every Saturday night, and physically I have a timetable to clean the house, and I don't have a help. I just stay with my husband and my kids. My husband does more of the cleaning, but I also have it at the back of my mind to supplement, so I have a timetable for that and how it works for me, so that because everything has its time, everything needs to have its time with me. Now, vision wise, the whole idea of the house is to keep my house a home. So everything that will make my house home. That's why I said, that's one of the reasons why, even if I have a disagreement with my husband, we are quick to settle because we don't want to introduce the wrong spirit. Sometimes though, you can just want to, they will be like, he's taking you for granted or she's taking you for granted, and you just want to, then later you just come like, devil has deceived you, then you quickly repent. So the vision that you want for your home would influence how you take care of your home. So that's it for home. Now for the middle, what I basically do with middle is relationship management. So there are basically two things. I keep in contact with them and I am there for them when they need me. So I know that that's basically it. So I have a calling agenda for my middle people, my family. I call my mom every week and I call my siblings maybe once in 2 weeks, once in 3 weeks. So, or once in a month, depends. I'll call them, but even if I don't call them directly, we have a family chat group where we still chat together. But that call where you just sit down, how are you and all that. I know I should actually do better on the family, but I call on my siblings, but I call my mom, every week on Sundays. And then my close aunties, I call them. There's some I call every month. There's some I call every, then my close aunties, I usually call them every month. Then there's some father aunties I call maybe once in a quarter, and there are some that I only call on their birthday. But I just look at the relationship. It's not everybody I need to plug into that plan. We have a birthday tracker. Then I'll also try to be there for them. What that means that if they call me, I try to create time for them based on the hierarchy of importance. It also means that I also make provisions in my budget to accommodate some things. Sometimes I might need to, sometimes I might not need to, but I try to make accommodation in my budget for family, just in case someone needs. Do you understand? And I work with the budget. Once it's finished, it's finished. I just know, okay, this is what I'm sending to this person. This is what I want to give this person. You understand? So for me, it's keeping in contact with them and being there for them, And a lot of times at this stage, being there for them is is listening to them, being physically and financially available. Now, it might not also be. You might say that now. There's something that people say. How do I phrase this? You might think that being financially available for your parents, even though that might not be the right word, it might not be necessary, especially if your parents are well-to-do. But there's something my mother taught me. She said she can have all the money in the world, but if you see that 1 naira that her child gives her is more precious to her than anything else. I think it's just the joy of seeing somebody that you grow become somebody and do something for you. I don't know. It is just a special joy that they have when their children give to them. So find ways to be a blessing to the people in your lives. find ways to do that. Then the third group is the out external people. So what I basically do with those ones, have their birthdays and I call them on their birthdays. Then depending on the closeness, there are some that I could call up. There are even some I hang out in their house with, maybe even as part of my self-care, you know, but it's all there. There are some I call, you know, maybe like every other week, you know. I typically do not have a lot of friends. Most of my colleagues are guys, about thereabouts. And then I know guys are not chatty like ladies. Though me, I can be chatty, so I think I'm changing. My husband is making me more quiet like him. But so that's about it. Another thing about physically connecting with my kids too is that I planned shopping, their clothes shopping for them, like towards school time, August, and it's a little bit close. I plan around July, August for them, and I plan around December, January for them, for December, so that you can buy things, buy shops and buy clothes, as in outing clothes, you know. And of course, that does not mean you cannot get other things, but these are the standards. Or even if you don't do anyone during the year, we go do this one. So that I can be passing a shop and see something nice, and if it's budget, I can buy it. You understand? Or I want to just surprise him, or it's something I really enjoyed, and this is beautiful, I get it for him, you know, and all that. And there's something else I want to say. First of all, another way of connecting with my husband and my children is by connecting to them through their love language. So my husband and my children love gifts a lot, and my second son not only likes gift, he likes attention. So he's more motivation why we should take walks or watch family time together. Do you understand? Because I know that is how he feels love, he experiences love. Now, I also make sure that I buy them. Like my husband, I try to get him a gift every month, and it's not even expensive. But there was a time that my budget for my husband's gift monthly was 1,000 naira, because I realized that it was not in the amount, it was in the heart. So my budget for him was 1,000. My budget for my son then was 500 naira or so. So I'll just walk into all these maybe pep store, you know, and just buy one very small toy and bring it back for my son. Then sometimes I will get something for my husband, 1,000, 1,500, and give it to him, you know, and he's happy because that's his love language. So that's how I connect with him, you know, emotionally. But with that, the management of my home is very easy. All right, so that's about it with family, relationships, home. That's how I take care of my home and keep myself super organized. So I'll say thank you so much for being with me on this show again today. And next week we're going to be talking about finance, and I look forward to that. Hope this has been a blessing. I'll meet you in the comments. Let's talk there. Let me know what you've learned. Let me know your comments. Let me know your contributions, and let me know your questions. God bless you and have a super amazing time ahead. See you same time, same station next week. Bye-bye.